You know, when I was younger, I used to be in a lot of arguments, like literally fighting with parents, fighting in relationships, fighting in everything that I do, until I worked out this very powerful tool that actually my master shared with me out in Bali. And I want to share with you guys, so you never need to argue again, or maybe you can win every fight without fighting. Let's dive into it. When it comes to learning, there's nobody ahead and nobody behind. I don't believe I was born with all the skills. I don't believe I was born confident. But what I do know is that if I decide that I'm gonna go in on something, I'm either gonna go big or I'm gonna go home. I remember when I was younger, I used to get into a lot of fights. Like literally, I was one of those people, it's either my way or the highway, you know? And people look at me today and they say, wow, you're so zenned out and every day seems to be so peaceful and no arguments happen. And that is true. Now, how did I use the law of attraction or my vibrational frequency to actually change my whole reality? This is what I want to share with you in this video, because once you learn this tool, and it takes a bit of practice, but once you learn this tool, it's very surprising because it almost feels like no arguments ever happen anymore, no fights ever happen anymore. And how do you actually do it? And how do you win in this game when people are so competitive, when people have their own opinions and views and people have the need to share it? Well, actually, it's very simple. The secret is do not fight. Now you're thinking, well, that is really not going to help, because obviously you are in a fighting mood and you're in that argument. How do you not fight? Well, actually, the art of not fighting is actually the strongest, it's actually the most powerful. How to fight without fighting. This concept I actually learned not just on a verbal level, not just the mindset, but actually through Tai Chi. Those of you who never checked out Tai Chi before, I have some Tai Chi videos. You can follow the series as well, it's very powerful. But what Tai Chi teaches is when people punch, we don't say attack at the same time as them punching, right? Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking stop driving and punching at the same time, but there's no cars here. We're in a private land anyway. So anyway, when we practice Tai Chi, people punch, and what we do is we use their energy, allow the energy to pass, then we respond instead of reacting. So in the same way, when arguments happen, think about it this way, right? If you did not fight, what will happen is the energy will just settle. Every time you fight, and always understand this, and type this below as well, just to reaffirm the learning, what you fight always fights back. I always say nature is the best indication to how life is and how everything works. What you fight always fights back. Right? That's just how life is. But the moment you don't fight, what will happen is the fight will try to continue. So what it means is, let's say somebody's giving a lot of energy, giving you a lot of words, abuse, whatever it is, okay, saying things. Now, if you say things back, that will feed the negative energy. It will give it more power to actually keep coming back. But always understand this. When energy comes in, let's say negative energy comes in, and you don't give it attention, meaning you don't apply energy to it, that energy starves of energy and it needs to find somewhere else to shift. It never dies, because energy never dies. But it will find somewhere to transfer to, but then it won't be on you anymore. But if you keep fighting, it will keep fighting back. That's why, actually, the trick and the tip is very simple. And this is how, for the last 5-6 years, I haven't been in even one single argument. How? Very simple. Whatever people say, they are right. Right? Drop your ego. Allow them to be right. Wayne Dyer has a saying. He says, if you ever have a chance to be right or to be kind, always choose to be kind. So just allow them. If they have this need to win the argument, allow them to feel like they're winning the argument. But let me tell you something. The real person who has won in that moment is actually you. Why? It's because you found yourself peace. They are in frustration. They are in stress. They're struggling right now with the challenge. They're going through a lot right now. And you're at peace. Why? Because you have let it go. So let me tell you the exact process in terms of how to do this. when the argument kicks off, right? What to do? Take a deep breath in and out. When you breathe out, the act of breathing out actually just lets it go, lets it pass. Okay? Then allow yourself to suspend thought, suspend ego, because your ego will want to react and say, I'm right. Instead, know that you can't win in that sense because you will always be in their vibration. You become the person you're arguing with, their vibration. So don't allow yourself to be in that vibration. So instead, what we can do, we can create a shield, which is almost looking like we're agreeing. Okay? And agreeing does not mean, yes, okay, you're right, because that's fighting, right? That's coming from ego. Instead, it's saying, yeah, I think I get what you mean. Allow it from the outside. Okay? Inside does not need to feel that vibration, but outside is the shield. Because you are like a chameleon. You're protecting yourself. Outside, if you be at their vibration that way, but it's not going internally, not being affected internally, what will happen is they will feel like, oh, okay, well, I've got nothing to fight about. You agree with my case, so that's it, settled. There's nothing to say. One time, somebody in an event, and this was really funny, someone at the event, they were sitting on the front row. When I was speaking on the topic of non-fighting, a guy raised his hand in Malaysia and he said, no, sometimes you need to fight. And I just looked at him, I said, I guess you're right. Then he looked at me confused. Then he sat back down and everybody started clapping. After a few minutes, he was like logging. What just happened there? And then he gave me the thumbs up. Like, this is what I'm saying. Nobody can challenge you. If you're agreeing with them, nobody can challenge you. So the fight is settled instantly. And while your ego will say, but I needed to win that fight in front of people. Actually, you would never win that fight. While you think you're winning, you're creating a new version of yourself, a more aggressive one. You're feeding your ego, right? And also you're lowering your vibrations. So don't take yourself into that vibration because you attract what you are. You don't want to attract any more of that. Let it all settle. Let it all pass, right? This is the beauty. Bruce Lee once said, be like water, my friend. Water is so powerful. The softest thing, right? It's the softest thing, yet the most powerful thing because it can penetrate through rock and it always gets to its destination through all the rocks and all the obstacles, right? Be like water. Anyway, guys, if this video has been of any use to you whatsoever, please do hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Also, comment below. Let us know your thoughts, your views on this. And let us know where you guys have tuned in from. That's always nice to know. And finally, if you're new to this channel, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to it. That's that little bell sign, by the way, because this year I'm dedicated to making daily videos to hold you accountable to make it your best year yet. But for now, guys, namaste. Ciao. So if you remember from last week, we were actually looking at the lotus pose, and I said that today we're going to go a little bit more advanced. And by the way, if those of you who still haven't got into lotus pose yet, then keep practicing, because actually within a few weeks you'll be able to find yourself, as long as you practice every day and you're pushing past the uncomfortable, you'll find that you'll be able to do it. So today what we're going to do is we're going to lift up into lotus pose. Okay, if you still can't, then keep practicing. Now, from lotus pose, we're going to do something that looks a little bit like a crane. So the crane pose, okay, those of you not familiar. So what we do is we do this. We will lift, put our palms down, okay, to the ground. Okay, now what we do here is we will bring our feet up. So bring it together, make sure your weight distribution is also forward as well. Okay, those of you who you may need a wrist support or something. Okay, now what you do is you breathe, prepare, and then you lift. So lift like this, lift, 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 higher and higher. And then you can stay there, just like this. Breathe and balance. Engage the core and hold the balance. So do 5 seconds on that one. And you guys who are part of the yoga challenge, then hashtag yoga challenge. And then tag me on Instagram. If you're not following already, make sure I'll put the link somewhere around here. Make sure to follow Instagram as well. And let's have some fun with it every day, every week. Practice different asanas, like different mountains. Getting to another peak, conquering another challenge. Build our body, mind, and spirit together. Otherwise, just check out the other videos now. I think I'm done for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Love and blessings to all. Now's the time to click. Namaste.